After Gilbert Burns tested positive for COVID-19, he was forced out of his bout with Kamaru Usman at UFC 151. Now Jorge Masvidal has stepped up in a week's notice to challenge for the UFC welterweight title. Nate Duaz reacted to the news and posted this on his Twitter saying, "Real fights are better fights." Gilbert Burns responded back saying, "Real? I would maul you. I will out-grapple you and out-box you. And I'll slap you up. Don't talk about real." Dustin Poirier, in a recent interview with MMA Junkie, says that he's thinking of retiring at the age of 35.
Yeah, I always had the number 35 in my head, that I would stop fighting at 35 years old, because I figure, you're 35, you're still young, you can start a new venture in life and still be young and have a whole career in that as well. But we'll see. I feel good. I don't think I move old. Since the hip surgery, my day-to-day life is better. I'm not in pain with my hip every day like I was. I feel good, but like you said, I definitely have been doing this at the highest level for a long time and had some crazy fights. And we all know fighters, when you fight like that, we age in dog years, man. So I'm just enjoying the ride still, having fun. I still feel good. Maybe the frequency of fights will, I kind of slowed down. I'm doing 2 a year now. I was doing 3, or even before that, I was doing 4 or 5 a year when I was a young professional. I'm just, like you said, trying to do things right, taking care of my body right now, like not drinking and stuff after fights, not putting a bunch of junk in my body after fights when my body's healing. I've been loading up on fish oil and turmeric and CBD and lion's mane mushroom and just things like that to really help my brain heal. And that's more focus as I get older. That becomes more of a focus after fights. Before it was, let's celebrate, let's party, let's enjoy this win. Now it's like I achieved what I set out to do. I had a good performance. Now it's time to recover, take care of my body, and we'll take it from there. No, I just kind of learned on the job and did it as I went and decided to try to look out for myself, and my family. So that's just growing up in the sport. It's not good. Drink is not good for your brain. Definitely don't want to drink after taking shots like we just fought for 25 minutes.
Check this shit out. Got pillows, space, got the TV, got fucking drinks with some dates. And we got some. Oh, you don't even know, Pat. They got us some loungewear in here. They're giving us some pajamas and slippers.
Get out of here. I'm putting it on right now. Where they at?
No, but you might need to get the extra large, because he put the large, because Chico was sitting there. So he's like, oh, let me change the size. So I was like, wait, which size are you getting? He's like, well, I have large. And I was like, you may need extra large. He's like, I have that too. So, but he got it up there, so you guys switch out. And there's a changing room too. Crazy. That's crazy.
You think they got something that fits me?
Probably not.
Javier Mendez on an Instagram live speaks on Conor McGregor's retirement. He also speaks on a rematch between Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Conor McGregor.
I think it's true if he doesn't get what he wants, but I think Dana is such a great businessman that he's going to go to the table and they're going to work something out, and I think that Dana can get him to come back. I definitely think it's true. If he doesn't get what he wants, it's true. Henry Cejudo, same thing. He says, I'm retired, unless they get him big payday fights. He's a little bit more difficult to get the big payday fights. But with Conor, I think this can be worked out where Conor will come back. I think the UFC is definitely in their best interest to not let him retire, especially at this age, where he's at the height of, he's the biggest star right now as far as the pay-per-view draws, You don't let your pay-per-view guys go. It's not a good business move. So I think they're going to try to work it out with him and give him something that he's going to like. Well, I think that definitely Khabib is in the picture when it comes to Conor. And that's when Conor, got annihilated, and Conor wants that one back. I mean, he's going to, all true fighters, they get beat the way he got beat by Khabib. They're going to want a rematch. And Conor's a true fighter. I don't like what he does outside of the fighting when he talks the mess about the country, the religion, the family, and I wish he would stop, because this fight doesn't need that. They don't need that to separate people by religion or country or marital status. Family needs to be left alone. Country and religion needs to be left alone. And Conor, continuously attacked those 4 items at all times, you know, and he needs to stay away from that. I know he won't, but I wish he would, you know, but I think this fight, it'll be the biggest pay-per-view fight of all time. You know, the last one was, this one definitely is, because now there's even more history in Conor looking so great in his last fight that people will buy into it. And we'll see what happens. But, you know, another thing, too, one of the big, most important part is Khabib may want nothing to do with him. So, you know, we won't know until that happens and until it gets presented. But don't be surprised if Khabib says, you know, he has deserved it, or no, he hasn't, and I don't want nothing to do with it. For Khabib, it's not about the money. It's about the honor, and it's about other things, and about if he deserves it or not. So well, let's wait and see what happens.
What do you reckon, boys?
Ready.
Where's Joe up the back there? Look at this fathead here. Fathead here. We have arrived Abu Dhabi. There's that heat they're talking about. Still going to go up like 15 degrees later on. Yep. Welcome to Fight Island. Here we are.
How was the flight? Yeah, good, thanks, bro.
Max Holloway on the Ariel Helwani's MMA show speaks on what has changed in his life since losing the title.
I don't know if I don't have the spotlight on me. I really don't, you know. We're just in a weird time, you know. If you from the outside in, like at the end of the day, for this fight, if people kind of make it feel like me and our fight is the main event, and then people stay talking to me like I'm the champion. So at the end of the day, I don't know. You know, I don't know what the spotlight is. I understand what it came with it. You know, a lot of people, these guys, a lot of people who's new to becoming champs, they think so, or they win a big fight, they think so. Yeah, this is the one, and things change. You know, and from experience, the only thing that I can tell you guys out there, that when you're a champion or you win that big fight and you're looking for that big change, the only big change that you actually get might be some contract stuff, but the biggest thing I can promise you is your media obligations. That's the only thing that changed. These guys think so, they win the belt or they win a big fight, the glitz and glamour comes with it, they're going to start doing TV shows and blah, blah, this and that. None of that happens, guys. You know, that's on your guys' self. You guys got to go out and figure it out. UFC is giving us this pedestal to help us get there. But at the end of the day, in the UFC, the only thing that really changed when you win something big or whatever is your media obligations. You can ask any champion, any former champion. These guys, they try to think like, oh yeah, I win this belt. Why am I not getting this love, and so on and so on. It's because this is, you know, it's not something magical. Like you win the belt, you're gonna get like 1 million followers. It doesn't happen. This ain't real life. You know, you gotta go out there and work hard for it. And the only thing that really changed, I can promise you, is media obligations, and that's about it.
you say? You getting smart there?